My presentation today is on Deborah Sampson, a military Revolutionary War hero who disguised herself as a man so that she could join the war effort. She was born in Plymouth, Massachusetts on December the 17th, 1760. She had 7 brothers and sisters, and her father went to sea and drowned, and her mother at that time was not able to take care of her 5 oldest children, so they were sent to live with neighbors and relatives. Deborah was the 5th oldest, so she was sent to live with her cousin Ruth Fuller in a town called Middlebury. By the time Deborah was 20, she had educated herself to become a part-time teacher. She was a stout girl who stood about 5 foot 8 inches tall. She was big boned, strong, and had a light complexion. Late in the war, she decided she had to contribute to the war effort, but not in the normal manner available to women of her day, because we know that women at that time were not able to do much of anything except stay home, take care of the children, keep house, because they were considered property of their husbands. So she sewed herself a suit of man's clothes, left her farm, and walked 30 miles to Middlebury, where she enlisted in Captain George Webb's Light Infantry Company. Slowly, the idea of joining the Army dressed as a man took hold. She would venture out and found that she was undetected in her disguise. So she enlisted in the spring of 1781. In May, she arrived at the fortifications at West Point, New York, on the west bank of the Hudson River, where she was detached to Captain George Webb's company of light infantry and issued uniforms. The war had already moved on to the New York area by the time Sampson enlisted, when she was sent to fight in the Hudson Valley. According to Sampson, and these are her words, she says she underwent more with fatigue and the heat of the day than by fearing of being killed, although her left-hand man was shot dead at the second fire, and her ears and her eyes were continually tormented with the expiring agonies and horrid scenes of many others struggling in their blood. She recollects the 3 on her side who were killed: John Baby, James Battles, and Major Stern. She escaped with 2 shots to her coat and 1 to her cap. She now says no pen can describe her feelings experienced in the commencement of an engagement, the sole object of which is to open the sluices of human blood. The unfeigned tears of humanity has more than once started into her eyes in the rehearsal of such as the scene as I have just described. While fighting in New York, Sampson was wounded in battle. After removing the bullet herself, the wound never healed properly and caused her pain and discomfort for the rest of her life. She was wounded again 4 months later when she was shot through the shoulder. At this time, she was sent to the hospital, and the doctor attending her, whose name was Dr. Barnabas Spiney, removed her clothes to treat her and discovered that she had a cloth that was binding her breast. He didn't immediately report her, and instead he let her recover in peace at his own home with his wife and family. In September, after Sampson had recovered, Bonnie asked her to deliver a personal letter to General Patterson. Upon delivering it, Patterson informed her that the letter said she was a woman in disguise. Sampson was honorably discharged from the Army at West Point on October 25, 1783 by General Henry Knox. She returned home and married a man by the name of Benjamin Janet. They had 3 children. She also taught at a nearby school. About 9 years after her discharge from the Army, she was awarded a pension from the state of Massachusetts in the amount of £34 and a lump payment. Paul Revere sent a letter on her behalf to Congress in 1804, and as a result, she started receiving a U.S. pension in the amount of $4 per month. In 1802, Sampson traveled throughout New England and New York, giving lectures on her experiences in the military. During her lectures, she wore the military uniform. Deborah Sampson Gannett died April 29, 1827 in Sharon, Massachusetts at the age of 66. Her children were awarded compensation by a special act of Congress for the relief of the heirs of Deborah Gannett, a soldier of the Revolution deceased. It's my opinion that Deborah Sampson is probably one of the greatest women in history. This concludes my report, my video, and I hope that you're able to understand it and enjoy it. Thank you.